Alright, Greenleaf fans, here's my episode review for episode 3, Visions and Dreams. Is it late? Yeah, I know. I literally just watched the episode this morning. But not to just, bombard you with excuses, but the same rules apply. I've been busy with eBay. I had an entire day Thursday dedicated to to-do list stuff. I did have plans for the weekend, but those plans got rescheduled, so there was stuff I need to get done right away. But since I finished those things, I actually have yesterday and today to do videos. And as always, those have and have not / if loving you is wrong videos get a lot more views than Greenleaf. So not to mention, it's all good. I got the episode review. I've already did trailer breakdown, and I got a few discussion videos. So you get like way more than usual during the weekend anyway. So boom, you're welcome. But Visions and Dreams, 8 out of 10. I think it was a pretty solid episode. We start off with, I think, a pretty interesting title for the, I believe it's like the center that Grace was going to pick AJ up from. Wasn't this like the halfway house or whatever? Desert Hope. And I just think that's pretty ironic given the Harmony and Hope situation going on. So Desert Hope. Basically, AJ sees Grace, doesn't want to have anything to do with her because she never wanted to have anything to do with him up until this point. So it's either give me the money or leave. And he just storms off because she's an emotional wreck. And it is, I mean, you can see where he's coming from, but I feel bad for Grace. Then we go to Bishop and May. And this is pretty much, May talking about the fact that, I had a dream, and the interpretation from my perspective is that getting the church back, you need to do as much, if not more, than I do. I think you need to apologize to the congregation. But Bishop pretty much rebuttals, saying that, hey, you know what? I don't think I've gotten any kind of dream like that from the Lord, but I will pray and meditate on it. If I do, I'll let you know. But until then, just like Reuben told Joseph, keep your interpretation and dreams to yourself. Then we have Jacob meeting. Well, actually, he's at the church. I believe one of the secretaries is just updating him on the various meetings and appointments that he has. And Carissa shows up, giving him an update on the land purchases. It seems like there are some interested parties. I believe one is from like an LLC corporation, and they want to pay more than what they paid for the land in the first place, but Jacob isn't wanting to sell. And yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. Oh dang, time skipped a week. What was it in the last episode? He's like, well, give me a week to think about it, and the Lord gives me any kind of sign, then I'll let you know. But yeah, she said a week has passed, so that's something to take note of. Then we have, let's see here, Charity meeting with one of the music directors, basically going on about how lame and well, yeah, lame the Harmony and Hope theme song is. But the music director's like, look, first of all, we need to have this done and ready to be performed Sunday when Judy and Bob show up. And on top of that, Judy is the daughter of Bob. And also, if you want to talk with Judy, really can't do that. Grace said to contact her first before contacting Judy. But guess what? Grace is in Phoenix, so yeah, no luck there. And speaking of no luck when it comes to Grace not being at the church, Mrs. Misty Williams shows up in desperate need to talk with Grace. Unfortunately, she isn't there. They're supposed to have a meeting on tomorrow, but Grace isn't there to address her right now. Let me get the name real quick. Is it Carissa? Basically the main secretary. She's like, I can call Pastor Greenleaf and see exactly where she is. But then Phil swoops in to see if he can address the problem. But right when she said, I want to call Pastor Greenleaf, no, I got this. And instead she makes a call to Lady May just to let her know what's going on about, hey, so Miss Misty Williams came in here looking distraught, looking for Grace, who isn't there. And Phil pretty much is talking with her right now. So May is, upset about this because, once again, it's just another power move from Phil. And if he's able to get on the good side of powerful people like the Deacons, that's going to make it even more difficult for the Greenleafs to get the church back. So after that, we have AJ talking with Grace briefly. Look, hey, I'll give you the money. I'm going to give you the money if you just please give me a chance to explain myself. And kind of jumping scenes again, we have Carissa talking with Jacob. Actually, Jacob's talking with Bishop about Carissa's move about getting the land sold to get the money for the house. But long story short, Bishop is like, look, keep the land. You need that land. It's one of the few things we can have on earth that's as important as faith, to own something. What Carissa's really saying is that she's still mad about that thing you had with Tasha. So what you really need to do is just show her you love her more. Show her you have, oh, excuse me, show her that she has a home with you first before thinking of, getting a house or anything. So then we have Grace and AJ talking, and pretty much, it's just the explanation as to why Grace gave him up when she had him. It was like, I didn't know what to do. I wasn't ready for a child. I mean, it's just one of those things where, she tried to explain exactly what was going on. And from there, we have the fact that, hey, we need to find you an apartment. So then we go over to Zora and Charity. Charity's like, oh, what are you all dressed up for? And it's to see Dante, who's supposed to be meeting with her dad later on. But then he does show up. And, or actually before that, Grace in Phoenix is something that Charity just finds out. So she's a bit shocked about why she's in Phoenix to begin with. So then we have May going over to Fred and Misty's house. Basically, there was a 2-hour meeting that Phil had with Misty, but she's all good now. Oh, actually, May plans to go in Fred and Misty's house after finding out that Phil had a 2-hour meeting with her. Bishop said he wants to go, so he gets ready to go, and May chews out Jacob for not being at the church. So yeah, I doubt that's going to happen anytime again soon. So Charity sends an email to Judy about the song, basically because Grace isn't there. She just sends the email chewing her out about that lame song. All right, so then we have Grace and AJ going to an apartment, but he isn't going to be able to get the apartment even with a co-signer due to the fact that he's an ex-con. Then we have Zora meeting Dante, and then Nikki shows up, and pretty much, I guess you could say that's an interception. She didn't expect Dante to be with someone else. So we have, that's the thing about Greenleaf. They literally shift scenes so many times that it's hard for one scene to truly sink in, because we're going to see someone else. I might have to change up the style I do these episodes reviews, where I'll list out all the scenes, but then I gotta put little asterisks beside it in terms of, hey, you know what, this section of the video I'm going to talk all about Grace and AJ. This section of the video I'm going to talk about everything at the church, because I get tongue-tied trying to read it the way I am now. But in any case, Grace and AJ talk, and she's pretty much giving reassurance that everything's going to be okay. And then we learn a little bit more about AJ and the fact that I'm not who you think I am. The reason I got arrested and did 5 years was because I broke into a house, tried to find something to sell just so I can get something to eat, but I fell asleep because the family, I knew they were on a vacation, but the thing was the fact that I was in a place that was secure. I felt safe. It was warm and cozy, and I just fell asleep. I forgot what that feeling felt like. And Grace is like, well, I'm not going to leave. I promise I'm not going to leave until we find some place like that for you here. And then we have Jacob, who shows up at the church, takes Dante away. And then Nikki and Zora go to her place in order to talk. And sheesh. Man, oh man, oh man. I'll just talk about the girls real quick. So Zora's recounting her situation with Isaiah, that she's trying to pick up the pieces from that. Nikki reassures her, like, girl, you need to go ahead and, start a class or whatever on doing hair. You got talent. And it looks like Nikki's about to make a move on her right when Dante shows up. Pretty much is impressed by Zora's place. He takes Nikki and they go off. So pretty much Zora's reeling after that experience, pretty much a bit shaken. So then we have Misty, May, and Jacob. And from there, the long story short, Misty and May talk one-on-one. May's trying to reassure that, hey, I'm sorry that my daughter's out of town and we don't need to get the church involved with this, but I didn't know that your daughter, Denise, wait, is it Denise? Was it Denise? Basically, she relapsed on her addiction again, and the thing was that her and Grace were supposed to have an intervention, but she was going to just meet up with Grace the day prior in order to, just have a prayer meeting with her and whatnot, but she wasn't there. So May is trying to say, hey, you know what, woman to woman, you can still talk to me, even though, me and Bishop, we're still resources, even if we're not aligned, affiliated with the church anymore. But she's like, don't embarrass yourself, May. the thing is, when we voted for Harmony and Hope over Calvary, it was the fact that it wasn't Bishop, it was you. The fact that it's hard to believe that you didn't know about what your brother Mac was doing involving the girls, as well as using money from your scholarship to keep him quiet. I don't think it's not possible for you to not know what was going on. And that was a pretty big bomb. And I literally just got off the phone with my mom about this. And I said, well, that theory about Uncle Mac and Grace is kind of ironic that theory, I put it up there. People are kind of, back and forth about it. But then Uncle Mac's brought up in this episode. So then we have Grace and May on the phone, and May's chewing her out something fierce about not being at the church. What are you doing? Basically, it's kind of May's kind of taking out her anger of the situation of, her own past, and then taking that on Grace's own past, because, that's what she's dealing with, and she wants Grace home tomorrow no matter what. Then we have Phil chewing out Charity about emailing Judy about the song, but she flips it on him by saying, did you know Grace was in Phoenix? And then after that, let's see, going to the top of the page here. Yeah, May's telling Bishop that she's sorry about the dream. It was actually for her. And was it really possible for me not to know, even though it was probably staring me right in the face without realizing it, as she's looking at slides from old family photos. Grace tells AJ that she has to leave, and he tells her not to come back at all. And it's kind of sad because of the fact that he really looked hopeful that his mom was there and they were getting to know each other, because she did say that she was initially going to leave that night, so long as they just talk real quick and, she'll give her the money. But after really seeing the struggle of, him having to deal with life as an ex-con, you know what, I gotta stay and help my son. Then after that, Carissa and Jacob are talking, and basically it's like, look, I don't want to sell the land, but I want to show you I love you more and more than I do now, through actions rather than just either saying it or not treating you like a priority. Then May calls him downstairs. Phil calls Christy to see if Grace went by to see Bob in Phoenix, but since she hadn't, the wheels in his head are turning to figure out what exactly is going on. Then we have Grace coming home, going to the family room, and everyone's, looking at the slides, and May is just touched that everyone's together. Grace calls AJ, telling him, I want you to come home, and that's the end of the episode. Some key points is like, when Grace is there for family, it's kind of weird because of the fact that, she's there, like May says, I'm glad we're all together, yet Grace is sitting on the couch with her family, yet you can tell she feels so distant, given the fact that her own son is like states away and she's with her own family. And then you have Charity asking what exactly was going on in Phoenix. So once again, the house is divided. It is very divided. I mean, it is going to be crazy to see how things unfold, especially if AJ does agree to come home to Grace and the Greenleaf family. But overall, I think it was a solid episode, 8 out of 10. And like I said, next week when I do the episode review, I'm definitely going to switch up the style, because I felt like I was jumping over hurdles going through this episode explanation. But overall, yeah, 3 episodes in, pretty solid season so far. But with that being said, let me know your thoughts on Visions and Dreams. Do you think May is going to reflect more on what Misty said? What do you think she's going to do to change it in the future? And I guess the season so far is definitely the journey that the Greenleafs are going to have to take, not only as a family, but dealing with their own inner demons, secrets, and struggles. So thanks so much for tuning in. Take a moment to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. If you like what you just saw, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, or if you have anything you would like to add to the video, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you want to keep up with me on social media, go to the description box. All of my links for social media are right there. Also, if you feel like you would like to donate to the channel, make sure to click on the link to PayPal. Any amount helps. $1, $5, $20. As a full-time YouTuber, any support from my fans really does mean a lot to me. Finally, make sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you're kept up to date on any new content I post to the channel. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next video.